Millionaire's blind daughter was stuck in the cold, until a single dad did the unthinkable. A desperate single father. A freezing abandoned factory. A millionaire's blind daughter left to die in the darkness. And the split-second decision that changed 4 lives forever. Grove Hartwell had come to the abandoned textile factory looking for salvage materials, anything he could sell to close the $340 gap before rent was due in 5 days. His 6-year-old daughter, Blossom, was safe with Mrs. Rita, probably drawing butterflies like she always did. The factory was colder than the November night outside. His flashlight sliced through thick shadows as wind howled through broken windows. Then he heard it, a faint sound. A whimper. Soft, human, small. "Hello," he called. His voice echoed through the cavernous space. Another cry. Definitely a child. He moved quickly, boots crunching over debris, until his light landed on a tiny figure curled in the corner like a broken doll. A girl, maybe 8. A red dress, filthy. Shaking violently, her small body jerking with the cold. Grove rushed to her, pulled off his jacket, wrapped it around her. Her skin was ice. Her eyes didn't focus. She wasn't seeing him at all. She couldn't. The realization hit him hard. She was blind. "Sweetheart, can you hear me? What's your name?" Her lips barely moved. She was shutting down. Grove gathered her into his arms, rubbing her limbs, trying to push warmth into her failing body. She weighed almost nothing. "Stay with me," he begged. A whisper escaped her. "Cold. I know, baby. I know. We're going to get you warm." He kept rubbing, kept talking to her. Finally, she managed one more word. "Bliss. Bliss Westbrook." He carried her out into the brutal wind, put her in his truck, blasted the heat, wrapped her in his emergency blanket, and dialed 911. "Blind child," he reported. "Severe hypothermia. Maybe 8 years old." When he said her name, the operator sucked in a breath. "Sir. Bliss Westbrook has been missing for over 6 hours. There's an active Amber Alert across 3 states. Stay where you are." Grove's stomach dropped. 6 hours. Alone. In the freezing dark. He kept talking to her, telling her about Blossom, trying to keep her conscious. Bliss's cold fingers wrapped weakly around his. Sirens arrived 7 minutes later, an ambulance, police, FBI, and a black Mercedes. A woman stumbled out, blonde hair in disarray, eyes red from crying. "Bliss," she screamed. "My baby." Halo Westbrook, Bliss's mother, collapsed when she learned her daughter was alive. As the ambulance doors were closing, she turned to Grove. "You found her?" He nodded. "What's your name?" "Grove Hartwell." Her voice broke. "Thank you for saving my daughter's life." At the FBI office, Grove gave his statement 3 times. He learned Bliss's nanny had kidnapped her in retaliation after being fired for theft. She'd taken Bliss to the factory and abandoned her in the freezing cold when the Amber Alert went viral. She had been arrested at the airport, trying to flee. "If you hadn't been there," Agent Walsh said, "Bliss wouldn't have survived the night." 2 days later, Grove visited Bliss at Harborview Hospital. Everything about the private wing screamed wealth, artwork, thick carpet, silence. Blossom came with him, her small hand tight in his. Halo Westbrook greeted them, eyes soft with gratitude. In the hospital room, Bliss's cheeks were pink again. She turned her unseeing eyes toward Grove. "You're Blossom's daddy," she said. "You kept me warm. You saved me." Blossom stepped forward. "You're Bliss. My daddy told me about you." And just like that, the 2 girls giggled, talked, and held hands like they'd always known each other. Halo pulled Grove aside. "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. They told me another hour and her voice collapsed. You don't have to thank me, Grove said. But I do. You saved everything that matters to me. Their daughters laughed in the background, voices bright and warm. Halo looked at him with something like awe. Would you meet me for coffee sometime? I want to discuss something. Grove resisted, but she persisted. She wanted to help him find stable work. She knew he had an engineering background. She believed in him. One coffee meeting turned into a job interview. A job interview turned into an offer at Westbrook Technologies, facilities manager, benefits, a real salary. Pride told him to refuse, but Blossom's joy at the promise of winter boots convinced him otherwise. Within weeks, the girls became inseparable. Playdates, sleepovers, giggling secrets. And with each visit, Grove and Halo talked more, about parenthood, loss, hope, and the loneliness of carrying too much. Halo told him she didn't have it all together, despite what everyone thought. Grove told her about his wife, Eleanor, and the hard years after losing his job. He told her about the nightmare project that had ended his career, the building failure, the lawsuits, the way he was blamed and fired. Halo listened, tears in her eyes. What Grove didn't know was that Halo recognized every detail. Late one night, while preparing for a company anniversary event, she'd found an old photo, Grove at a charity gala years ago. She enlarged the image, read the caption, and froze. The failed project. The structural warnings. The executive decision to overrule safety concerns. Her decision. Back then she'd gone by her legal name, Carolyn Westbrook. She'd been VP of operations, under enormous pressure, reviewing dozens of projects, believing the engineer's concerns were overly cautious. That engineer was Grove. She had destroyed his career without ever meeting him. And the stress from that downfall had played a role in Eleanor's decline. Halo broke down sobbing alone in her office, realizing she was falling for the man whose life she had unintentionally shattered. She tried to help him quietly, promotions, benefits, opportunities for Blossom, but guilt ate her alive. She wanted to confess, but feared he'd never forgive her. Worse, she feared he'd take Blossom away from bliss. Then Grove found the truth himself. An old company newsletter in the break room. A caption with his photo beside Carolyn Westbrook's. A shocked silence. And then the full paper trail at home, leading straight to Halo's signature. 3 days later, Grove stood in Halo's home office holding the newsletter. You knew, he said. Before you hired me. Before everything. The blood drained from her face. Yes. You were the one who overruled my concerns. I was, she whispered. I thought I was making a reasonable call. I was wrong. You were wrong, Grove said, voice trembling with pain, and I lost everything. Halo broke down. I didn't know you. I didn't know your name. You were one of dozens of reports. But when I realized who you were, I wanted to fix what I could. And then, I fell for you. Her voice cracked. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. You should have told me, he said. I know. You let me fall into this without knowing the truth. I was terrified you'd hate me, terrified you'd take Blossom away from bliss, terrified I'd lose you before I ever had you. Grove's anger flared, but he wouldn't punish the girls. They can still see each other, he said. But you and me, right now, we can't. He left her sobbing in her office. For 2 weeks they avoided each other. Emails instead of conversations. Detours in hallways. The girls noticed immediately. Grove told Blossom they were just busy. Halo told Bliss that grown-ups sometimes needed time to fix mistakes. Meanwhile, Grove battled the heavy truth. She hadn't destroyed his life out of malice. She'd been a pressured executive making a distant decision with devastating consequences. Eleanor's death, the lost years, that pain was real. But so was everything Halo had shown him these past months. He was furious. And he was falling for her. 3 weeks after the confrontation, he worked late, alone. Blossom was at Bliss's house for a sleepover. A soft knock sounded. He already knew who it was. Halo stood in the doorway, exhausted, eyes swollen from sleepless nights. "I didn't know you'd still be here," she said quietly. "I could say the same." A long silence stretched between them. "I miss talking to you," she whispered. "I miss it too," Grove admitted. "But I don't know how to." "I don't either," she said. "I don't know how to fix what I broke." "You can't fix the past," Grove said gently. "But you didn't ruin my life out of cruelty. You made a terrible mistake. A human mistake. And you've spent months trying to make things right." Halo stepped closer, voice shaking. "Do you think we could ever figure out a future?" Grove looked at her, the woman who'd hurt him, the woman who'd helped him rebuild, the woman whose daughter loved his like a sister, the woman who made him feel something he hadn't felt in years. "I don't know," he said honestly. "I want to. But I don't know if I can." Tears slid down Halo's cheeks. "That's fair." He walked toward the door, paused beside her, close enough to feel her breath. "Maybe someday," he whispered. "Maybe someday we can figure this out." Halo's breath hitched. "I hope so. I really hope so." He wanted to touch her. Wanted to kiss her. Wanted to erase everything and start again. But he didn't. He left quietly, leaving Halo standing in the hallway with tears running down her face. Outside, the Seattle night was cold and clear. Grove sat in his truck, weighing the past against the possibility of something new. Inside, the girls slept, best friends, innocent of the complicated adult world surrounding them. Some stories don't end neatly. Some leave you suspended between hurt and hope, wondering which one will win. This is one of those stories. Please comment if you want more stories like it.